Hello everyone, and welcome to another Python tutorial video. Last video we covered conditional statements and logical operators. This lesson we're going to be covering lists and the two loops in Python, the for and while loop. Now let's begin the tutorial. Now first things first, let me show you how a list actually looks like. So let's do a list of different kinds of fruits. So we can call it fruits. And the format for a list is square brackets. So anything inside square brackets will be in the list. So we can start, stocking this up with items. So apple, orange, and let's go for grapefruits. This is a list. This variable can hold different types of values. It doesn't have to hold just one value, it can hold many, which is why lists are useful. Now you can also add to the list by stating the name of the list, dot append, and in normal brackets what you want to add. So let's add banana. And we can see this in action. So let's print the list before we append it and then after. It can also print lists, which is stating the variable name into print, and it will print all the values within the list. Let's check this out. As you can see, in the first time we print the list, it only holds the three values that we stated in the beginning. Now, after we append the banana, it prints it with four values, including the one that we appended. Now you can also call specific values in the list. Let's say I want to print only the first value in the list. All you have to do is print, type in the name of the list, and in square brackets, the index. Now you might be wondering, why am I doing 0 instead of 1? Well, in Python, when you count in lists, you don't start at 1, you start at 0. So instead of being 1, 2, 3, it is actually 0, 1, 2. So as you will see in a minute, it will print the first one despite being 0. See? Apple. And if you want to go backwards, you want to print the last one. You'd think it's -0, but it isn't. That's what I thought in the beginning, but when working backwards, it's how you would expect. So it'll be -1. And that should print grapefruits. Now you can also put lists into lists. So let me set up a mock example for you. And you should have something like this. As you can see, I have created 4 separate lists of 4 different people, and in each list is their heights and weights. And then I combine all 4 lists into another list for people. And when you combine lists into other lists, that's when you create 2-dimensional lists. In theory, you can make any dimensional list, from 3-dimensional to 10-dimensional, but it starts to get confusing at the end. So let's see what happens when I print this. As you can see, it prints the 4 lists that I've stated earlier in the code. And it's pretty useful when you're working with large amounts of data, especially for things like machine learning and neural networks. And that's the lists done. Now I'm going to go on to loops. Now the reason I combined 2 different lessons into one tutorial is because one of the loops, the for loop, is a bit hard to demonstrate without knowing lists. So let's start off with that one then. So let's make a list called numbers. I'll put some random numbers into there. So 5, 4, 2, 11. And now we can demonstrate the for loop. For x in numbers, print x times x. Now the x is a value in the list numbers. And you don't have to type X, you can give it any name. It can be Y, Z, unicorn, it doesn't matter. But I'll stick with X because it's easier for me. So how this basically works is, for X the numbers, for a value in number times the value by itself. So let's run this through methodically. So 5 times 5 by 5, done. 4 times 4, done. 2 times 2, done. And you get it until there's no more values in the list. So let's check this out. Here it seems to work. That's the for loop. It's pretty useful when working with lists, like I said before. Now another useful loop is the while loop. So let's do a count equals 10. While count is not equal to 0, print count, and then count equals count minus 1. So let's see what this does. It prints all the numbers from 10 to 1. This is because each time you run the code, it checks whether count is equal to 0. If it's not, then it runs this code. When count finally does reach 0, it's not eligible to run this code, so it stops. And you don't have to put a logical not. You can also do bigger than, smaller than, equals to. It doesn't matter. Any logical operator can work. Now the challenge for you is today. Make a program where the program asks the user for a number bigger or equal to 0, and then proceeds to print the times tables of the number up to a number chosen by the user. I will be back. And now you should have something like this. Why don't we click F5 and see what it does? To choose a number to multiply, I am going to go with 9. And what number do you want to times it? I think I'll go with 12. And as you can see, it prints the times tables of 9 up to 12, from 1 to 12. How did I do this? Let's run through. First, all I did was ask the user for the number to multiply. Then I asked how many times you want to multiply. And then it sets a variable called count. Now, while count is smaller than or not equal to times, it will print the number times the count, then add count up by 1. So when count finally reaches the amount of times the user stated, it will stop the loop. Now, thank you everyone for watching this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit like, subscribe, and I will see you next time in the next tutorial. Goodbye.